What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel. Our 2019 college football schedule previews continue with the Purdue Boilermakers. You can see their schedule on your screen. A decent season for them last year, 6-6 in the regular season, but then, of course, had that just embarrassing loss to Auburn in the bowl game where they just really looked outmatched. We look ahead to 2019. This team, they lose a lot of guys. They lose three starters in the offensive line, the top 2 running backs, 3 of their receivers. David Blau is gone. You do have Elijah Sindelar and some young guys at quarterback that may be ready to step up, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, having Rondell Moore back, he was just a freshman last season, is going to be big. I think he is maybe one of the top 5 players in the country heading into 2019. Yes, I think he is that good. Just one of the most electric players, again, that I saw in college football last season, and he was just a freshman. The front 7 brings most everyone back, but they have some losses in the secondary, so it's really tough to figure out how this team's going to do. I think they're going to be about the same as they were last year. I don't expect this team to be a contender in the Big Ten West. I think they might be in the middle of the pack, but I don't see them winning that division. But we'll see what happens. I think Jeff Brom is a great coach. I think this program is headed in the right direction. But the problem might be the schedule, and it's not the most difficult schedule. They don't play Ohio State. They don't play Michigan. They don't play any powerhouse team in the non-conference, but they could lose every game on their schedule. Every team they play is at least pretty good. They don't play any bad teams. They don't have any gimme games. And if you've watched these videos, we always green those games that I think are pretty much automatic wins. There aren't any for Purdue. Now, you could maybe make a case for Nevada, but that game's on the road week 1. I don't think that that's a guaranteed win for Purdue, so I'm not even going to say that they win that game for sure. Now, I think they'll be favored, and I probably would pick them to win, but there's no guarantee. Then they face Vanderbilt, a pretty good team out of the SEC, and then TCU, a team that is normally a top 25 team. So those are going to be 3 pretty tough non-conference games. Now, they don't play Alabama and Clemson or anyone like that, but again, for a team like Purdue, these are challenging games. Then they jump right into conference play with a home game against Minnesota, a road game against Penn State, Maryland at Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska at Northwestern, at Wisconsin, and Indiana to close out the season. And I think they're going to be underdogs in all 4 of those conference road games. Penn State, Iowa, Northwestern, Wisconsin. Don't really see them favored in those games. They may be an underdog against Nebraska. We'll see how Nebraska looks at that time. But again, I think it's tough to really gauge a projected win total for this team. We're going to go between 4 and 8. You're looking at best case scenario, they win all of the games except maybe those 4 road games, or maybe they win one of those and slip up against Nebraska or Minnesota. I think both Nebraska and Minnesota are going to be much improved this year. Again, TCU and Vanderbilt, those are going to be tough games as well. So I think you could look at worst case scenario for Purdue, possibly just 4 wins. I think Nevada is probably a win. I think Illinois and Indiana, they have a great shot at home in those games, and then maybe they win another game, Maryland or Minnesota, or maybe even Vanderbilt, and get to 4 wins. That's really, to me, the worst-case scenario, though, but it's possible. And right now, looking at it, it's probably, to me, more likely that they win 4 games than it is that they win 8. And I think 7 is more likely than 4, but just looking at the high end and the low end, I would probably lean more towards the 4. Now, if I was going to pick it, maybe I'd say 6-6, but I don't know for sure. Again, I'm a long ways away from making predictions. That Vanderbilt game is very intriguing to me. That's one that's going to be very tough to pick. I have no idea who I'm going to pick in that game. I would probably pick TCU over Purdue right now. So, again, it's going to be tough for this team to get to a bowl game. They're going to be a pretty good team, but with the schedule, there aren't any FCS opponents. There aren't a couple of easy group of 5 wins for them to get. And because of that, I think it makes it pretty difficult for Purdue to get to a bowl game. We'll see if they're able to get it done. Again, I think this will be a good team, a solid team, just not a team that's going to run through their schedule and easily get to a bowl game. It's going to be a challenge. They're going to have talented players this year. We'll see how some of the young guys step up and see how they play in 2019. But it's going to be very interesting to see what Purdue is able to do in a division that is on the rise. Northwestern getting better. Wisconsin, I think, is going to be improved. They were down a little bit last year. Iowa's always there. Nebraska is going to be better. Illinois is going to be better. Minnesota is going to be better. This is going to be a very tough division, and because of that, again, I think Purdue might struggle to get to a bowl game. What do you guys think about Purdue in this schedule? How would you rank this among some of the tougher schedules? Again, not a lot of really, really tough games, but I respect these schedules that just don't have easy wins on them. I really respect those schedules. They might not be the most difficult, but for a team like Purdue, it can be very challenging when you get a schedule like this and there are just no easy wins on there. Thank you for watching this video. If you're a Big Ten football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in Big Ten football, keep it right here.